Hi guys, my name is Brandy Lindo and I am the former owner and operator of Clemson Confectioneries Gourmet Bake Shop. And the reason that I say former is because we are changing the name. We are opening up bigger and better than ever before, and I just thought that it would be really awesome to kind of reinvent ourselves in the midst of this almost tragedy or this kind of downfall. I'm really excited, and so let's get started with this video because there's a lot that I have to share, and of course I have to reveal the great big name change, which is the best part. So for those of you who don't know what's going on exactly, I'll fill you in a little bit. In June of 2019, we learned that 405 College Avenue might be torn down and replaced with student housing. Well, long story short, those rumors were true. So I only had my store for about a year and a half, and then I felt like the footing that I was getting and this groundwork that I was laying for Clemson Confectioneries kind of just got pulled out from underneath me, and I lost everything really quickly. My life kind of turned upside down in ways that you could never imagine, and it's been a little bit challenging, but Chris and I, my fiance, are taking everything one day at a time, and we're so grateful again for all of the support and the love that you guys have given to us. It's honestly just unbelievable, and it's a wonderful testimony to the goodness of God and his people and just how wonderful everyone can be. So I want to tell you a story because who doesn't love a good story, right? Well, it was about 4 years ago. I was driving home from North Carolina on my 21st birthday, and I wasn't happy. I was an English major at Clemson, but deep down I just knew that that wasn't for me, and I was just praying to God, just driving and praying, and I was asking him, God, like, what am I supposed to do with my life? What is my purpose? What am I supposed to do? And in the midst of asking these questions, I literally felt God just come over me. And I heard a little blimp of his voice. Just something small, just enough. And I remember the words exactly to this day. He said, "You're going to open a bakery. You're not going to know when, and you're not going to know how, but you're going to do it." And you better believe I ran with those words. I heard that prophecy and I was like, this is it. This is exactly what I wanted to hear. I'm going to live my dream. God said so. When is it going to happen? And I had all these questions, God, when? God, how? What's it going to be called? Where's it going to be? What am I going to serve? Am I going to have staff? Is it going to blow up? And then it was silent, almost as if he was testing my faith. And boy, did it test my faith. And in the midst of all of that, I was so happy. I called my mom and dad and I said, hello? And of course, they answered. And I said, I just want you guys to know that I'm gonna open a bakery. And I don't know when, and I don't know how, but I know that I'm gonna do it. And then I said something a little more concerning. I said, Mom and Dad, if this means I have to drop out of school to open a bakery, I'm gonna do it. And of course, they're sitting back like, no, you're not dropping out of Clemson to open a bakery. Well, sure enough, I didn't let anything stop me. I went home and I started this little tiny bakery out of my Aspen Heights apartment. And it started very slowly. And sure enough, it didn't take long for my dad to catch on. He was like, she's got something here and I like it, and there's a niche and there's a need, and I like where she's going with this. My dad, he was the first person to ever believe in me, and his faith in me has shaped the person that I am today, truly. So let's fast forward to mid Aspen Heights, right? I'm in this apartment and I am up at 3 a.m. trying to make these cookies, right? And I'm trying my hardest. I'm just working really hard. I'm doing every swirl. I'm doing I'm drying the icing, cooling the icing, and I look at the cookies and I'm not happy. I don't love them. They're not coming out the way that I had intended them to. So naturally, at 3 a.m., I tend to do what I do best. I had an anxiety attack. And without hesitation, without even a qualm, I picked up the phone and I called my dad at 3 a.m. And of course, he picked up and he was like, "Hey B, what's up?" And I was like, "I am struggling, having this massive anxiety attack." And I told him my problem. I said, "I'm trying to make these cookies. They're not coming out the way that I want to. It's 3 a.m. My client is picking them up really early in the morning. I just don't know what to do." And he sat there with me and we worked through it. And he said, "All right, did you try your hardest?" "Yes." "All right, did you do everything you could?" "Yes." "Then there's nothing else you can do. You're never going to please everybody or make everybody happy, and that is okay." And in that moment, I felt peace, because when you're going through something as trialing and challenging as opening a business, you definitely need somebody by your side who's constantly telling you that everything is going to be okay. And for me, that was my dad. And I would like to say that was the only time I've ever called him at 3 o'clock in the morning in sheer panic, but it wasn't. And he's picked up every single time. It doesn't matter what time it was or what time it is. I mean, I call him today. And there have been struggles. And when I heard that 405 College Avenue was being torn down and that I would lose my business, the first person I called was my dad, because I was so sad. And I'll tell you this. He said, "Good." I can't believe it. And I said, "Good? You're happy that my bakery is being torn down? What?" And he said, "I knew this would happen, because you were made for such greater things, and your bakery was never meant to stay that small, because you have something so special, and I knew that you would expand." And my dad, he had faith in me when no one else did. And he had faith in me when I didn't even have faith in myself. And I'm always grateful for that. So going back to 2015, I was sad, really sad. And eventually that sadness just kind of took over my life. And I was diagnosed with anxiety and depression. And I had to leave Clemson and go home to New York and get some help. So I came home, and sure enough, who was there to help me but my dad? And he took me to every counselor, every psychologist, everybody, everything, trying to understand how I felt and trying to make sure that I would feel better and that I would get better. And eventually, after a month of being home and slowly recuperating and slowly pulling myself out of depression, it was finally time for me to go back to Clemson. And my dad drove me to the airport. And I remember this day like it was yesterday, because we pulled up to the little departure station and I got out of the car and I started crying. And I said, "Dad, please don't make me go back. I'm not ready. This is not for me. I can't do this. It's just not my thing. I can't. I'd rather stay home with you for the rest of my life, because this is where I feel safe." And he took one look at me and he said, "I'm sorry, but I can't let you do that, because you're stronger than this. And you are destined for such great things. And if I let you stay here, I know you'll never accomplish them. And I have to let you go." And he gave me a big hug. And he sent me on my way. And when I got to Clemson, I just felt God come over me. And it's one of those feelings that you never want to let go of. You never do. And God said it's going to be okay. That this is the start of a new chapter. 2 months after the day that I arrived back in Clemson, after telling my dad that I did not want to be here, Clemson Confectioneries ran. It didn't run, it sprinted. It sprinted faster than I could keep up with it. We had order after order, and I was so happy. And now it comes time to rename the bakery, right? We're gonna start over. We're gonna do things a little differently. And as many of you know, I'm getting married on February 29th, and I'm losing my last name. Not losing, gaining another one, but you know what I mean. So when it came time to pick a new name for the bakery, I knew exactly who I needed to name it after and why. So Dad, this one's for you. Because over the course of my entire life, you've never given up on me. You've had faith in me when no one else has. You've had faith in me when I didn't even have faith in myself. And you have shown me time and time again God's love through you. And you have shown me that even when we want to give up, God won't let us. And you are a shining example of how much our Father loves us. You are that example here on earth. And I'm grateful for you. And it is an honor. It's more than an honor. Dad, it will never be enough. Naming this bakery after you, it'll never be enough to show you how much you mean to me and how everything you've done these past 5 years has saved me. You are a tremendous person, and I'm forever thankful for you. So, the name of the new bakery is Lindo, Lindoughh, because you gotta have a little dough in there somewhere. And Dad, this is all for you, because without you, there would be no Clemson Confectioneries. But with you, there is Lindo, an unbelievable bakery with an unbelievable footing and an unbelievable heart. And I want you to know that you are at the center of it all, because without you, there would have never been a Clemson Confectioneries. I would have never reached my fullest potential. And I'm forever grateful for you. This past summer, my grandma passed away. And she was an unbelievable woman. Truly. Made some of the best desserts I've ever had in my entire life. And we all miss her a lot. And so the logo, or the name Lindo, will be written in her handwriting as a tribute to her, as a tribute to my last name, and as a tribute to my dad. This new bakery is something that is putting people first, because people are so important. And I encourage you to go out and support someone's business and just have faith in someone. Show them today that you love them and you support them and that you believe that all their dreams can come true, because just a little faith goes a long way. So that's it. That's my video. That's the name change. Thank you, Dad, for it all. and then some.